The year is 2030. The world has transformed dramatically over the last decade. What was once a mosaic of sovereign democracies, each unique in its governance and culture, is now a unified system controlled by an elite network of corporations, NGOs, and international organizations. The promises of inclusivity and sustainability have paved the way for a meticulously regulated global structure, where individual freedoms, democracy, and national sovereignty are but distant memories. Governments no longer govern as they once did. Their role has shifted to enforcing policies crafted by the Global Stakeholder Council, an unelected body composed of Fortune 500 CEOs, NGO leaders, and international technocrats. Elections are mere formalities, with candidates pre-approved to ensure adherence to global goals. Citizens have no genuine representation. National parliaments, once vibrant with debate, are reduced to ceremonial bodies, rubber-stamping directives from Davos or the UN. Policies such as mandatory digital IDs and personal carbon credit systems have been universally implemented. These measures are justified as being for the greater good, but any attempt to question or challenge them is swiftly met with accusations of spreading dangerous misinformation. Debate is stifled, and dissenters face consequences ranging from social ostracism to financial penalties. Ownership is no longer an option. Homes, vehicles, appliances, even clothing, everything is rented under the so-called Circular Economy Initiative. The public is told this shift reduces waste and enhances sustainability, yet it strips individuals of financial independence. Life is subscription-based, leaving citizens entirely reliant on corporations for their daily needs. A young couple, saving for what they hope will be a brighter future, slowly realizes they can never truly own anything. Their incomes are automatically siphoned into renting the essentials of life, leaving no room for personal choice or the accumulation of wealth. Freedom, as they once understood it, has become an abstract concept. The flow of information is tightly controlled by AI-driven platforms owned by global corporations. News is curated to support the narrative of stakeholder capitalism, while dissenting voices are systematically silenced. Algorithms ensure only approved truths are widely visible, creating an echo chamber of compliance. A journalist investigating corporate environmental abuses finds their work suppressed, their reputation tarnished, and their social credit score lowered. Unable to travel, renew their professional credentials, or even access certain public services, they are effectively silenced. Borders have lost all meaning. Sovereignty has dissolved under the weight of international treaties like those tied to Agenda 2030. Nations can no longer act independently, bound instead to global policies enforced by transnational agreements. Governments are now administrators of mandates crafted elsewhere. In rural communities, farmers face relentless pressure from international land use laws dictating how and what they can cultivate. Those who resist are fined, stripped of their land, or denied access to markets controlled by global agricultural corporations. The global social credit system monitors every citizen's actions. From carbon footprints to online behavior, every choice affects one's score. High scores grant access to better services and opportunities, while low scores result in restricted movement, higher costs, or outright exclusion. An artist speaking out against the injustices of this system finds their score plummeting. Marginalized, denied opportunities, and unable to challenge the system, they face a future where their voice, once vibrant, has been all but erased. Under the banner of saving the planet, sustainability policies are wielded as instruments of control. Carbon taxes, energy quotas, and dietary mandates dictate everyday life. Meat is a rare luxury, and cities are redesigned into 15-minute zones, restricting movement to reduce emissions. A father who takes his family on a brief holiday is fined for exceeding his household's annual carbon allowance. Reflecting on the fines and restrictions, he wonders if the freedom he once knew is merely a forgotten relic of the past. The journey to this world began with crises, pandemics, climate disasters, and cyber attacks that created a sense of urgency. The United Nations capitalized on this, embedding corporate-driven solutions into its Agenda 2030 framework. Public-private partnerships flourished, and NGOs legitimized this shift by promoting it as a moral imperative. Media campaigns framed stakeholder capitalism as humanity's only hope, while digital technologies like central bank digital currencies and AI surveillance locked everyone into compliance. By 2030, the dream of a globalized, sustainable and equitable world has turned into a meticulously managed reality. Stakeholder capitalism, once sold as a remedy to the world's ills, has instead entrenched inequality and control. The power rests with a select few, CEOs, technocrats and global elites, while the majority live in a world devoid of true freedom, democracy or sovereignty. This future isn't dystopian because it is chaotic. It is dystopian because it is calm, controlled and perfected to the point of oppression.